At the source of all life, there is water. On Mars, where it is rare, water is a source of conflict, struggle, and death. Since the turmoil, there have been unending wars, fought over the possession of clean water. We are the forgotten children of Earth, trapped in this red, barren wasteland. Here, hell is not a concept, it's our reality. And the reality is that every drop counts. Then there were the unfortunates, caught in the full power of the sun's radiation, forced to deform, mutate into unrecognizable monsters. The others, the ones who remained similar to our ancestors in likeness, hid under massive metal shells governed by water corporations. But in the slums, people's lives aren't worth much more than the mutants. And I would know. That's where I spent the first 10 years of my life, under the boot of the Vori. Of course, in despair, there is hope. Some have begun to explore, travel even, from corporation to corporation, leaving their loyalties behind. We have organization, structure, and inevitably, politics. We have rulers, a people's assembly, and far removed from us, the Dowser, the inaccessible face of abundance. And finally, there's us, the elite protectors of the people, the spearhead of the army, my brothers and sisters who all share the same special gift. We are Technomancers.
Ahoy, Zachariah.
Scott, you came.
Wouldn't miss it for the world. Sure, my memory isn't what it... But I remember to write things down on my calendar. Although I do sometimes forget where my calendar is. Anyhow, I knew your last cadet mission was today. Any nerves? If it's any consolation, you look more than fit enough.
No, I'm good. I'm ready.
Yes, healthy flush of the skin, no rapid eye movement. You don't look stressed out. Very well, I won't bother you anymore. Oh, but if I can bother you, just a moment. I recently acquired a batch of materials that can improve your gear. It's not much, but I thought you'd like it. Still can't believe you're going to be an officer soon.
Yeah, me too. Thanks, Scott. It means a lot.
I fear we've dilly-dallied on pleasantries. Your master, Sean, waits for you in the courtyard. So stiff, that one. I fear his spine is concocted from steel. A spine prosthetic. How interesting. What if... Oh, and stop by the clinic and come shoot the chit-chat. No, that's not... Just don't be a stranger. If you feel ill or need a hand, come see me. I'm always glad to help. Good luck, my boy.
Thank you, Scott. Will do. I promise. Oh, shit.
Zachariah, today, as you know, marks your final mission as a cadet. I trust you are prepared.
Of course, Master. Ready, willing, and able.
And a little nervous. Normal and expected. That's why I have gathered together your usual instructors to allow you to warm up and prepare. It's for you to ace the tests for each fighting technique. Prepare yourself. And once you are ready, join me at the station. From there, a train will take us to the mission site.
Thank you, Master.
Hey, heard from Captain Sean you're heading out to the station. You leaving now?
Yep, already ready.
Stop right there. We're conducting a search. Look at this piece of shit. Well, what do we have here? Road trash seems lost, don't it? You forget we don't want your kind around here, trash. Move your sorry ass out of here before you find yourself bleeding from both ends. I'm sorry. I didn't ask you to speak! Did I? You useless piece of shit! Why would I want to hear what you have to say? Waste of space! Please, I just... Shut your mouth and just fucking die! Corpse will feed the rats. At least then you'd have a purpose.
Such a waste of life. A waste of space. Am I right? A rogue is a Zach, right? You can dress him up, but...
Zachariah, we're leaving. Certain people are graduating to the rank of officer today. It does you well to serve only contempt to one worthy of nothing more. That is good. And with that, we should be off. This door. It is the same as that in our chapel. Accessible only to the combined energies of 2 technomancers.
Registration, March 17th, 2076. Subject 12. The subject appears acclimatized, pulse elevated but steady, unaffected by any visible health concerns. James, how do you feel?
Great! So alive! My heart's racing and I feel like I can take on the world. And I'm being honest here, it's a bit overwhelming.
Subject self-report is consistent and substantiated with our measurements of him and other subjects, all of whom produce EEGs indicating activity levels acutely higher than any ever associated with a human not subjected to the mutation. The only adverse side effect, it appears, is the near tenfold increase in corporeal and cerebral electricity. Dangerous levels that will necessitate the urgent invention of a device capable of evacuating such surplus in order to avoid subject injury.
This man talking about technomancy, about mutations, as if I can't believe.
And yet it still might be so. This recording dates to the first settlers. Speaks of the first technomancers. Shocking, perhaps? Where did you think our abilities came from? A divine power?
But we have no physical signs of mutation, and I don't know any mutant that has our gifts.
And why should any of those things matter? Might not our mutation simply be of a different form? This brings us to the most important point. What you have seen unifies us, unifies the Technomancers. This secret must be kept from all other humans. If this information was discovered by, say, the ASC, we would become nothing but slaves. Our situation is already incredibly undesirable. We are not only isolated, but used as human bombs. Take a walk by the mutant pen in the slums one day. That is what our lives could have been. Don't be dismayed. I have been through this as well, so have all the other Technomancer officers in abundance. Knowledge of this revelation makes you one of us now, more so than your skills. But now is time to deal with the creatures infesting the dome. It would be a real shame if the installations here are damaged, for we will no longer be able to hold initiation trials here.
Yes, of course, Master. I haven't found an opening yet, so they must have breached lower in the dome.
Then that's where we must go.
You, who bore witness to the secret with your own eyes, who knows in your heart of hearts that the revelation that he bears is true, and who has understood that this knowledge could cast us into endless pits of despair. As you drink the sap of the world, the water that feeds our lives, abandon the one you thought you were, and instead become our brother, Zachariah Mancer. Together we have shared the water and secret. Can you swear to forever protect the knowledge of the Earth and to dedicate your life to finding it again? To defend and protect our secret, even with the sacrifice of your life, if need be?
I swear.
Then welcome, my brother.
I know you must be troubled by what you've learned, and I assure you that it's no less troubling to me. But be proud of what you are, and know, no matter what, we are by your side. And that this initiation, as horrid as it may be, makes you forever our brother.
You showed the courage of lions beneath the dome, and for it, you have been made an officer. So I imagine, now that you no longer need my guidance, it will send me elsewhere, with the great and endless pride of having been your teacher over these few years.
The honor was mine, Master.
No, not Master. It's just Sean now.
Go. Take your assignment as an officer. Count the blessings you've amounted, those that allowed you to avoid the front thus far. Captain Eliza is waiting in the barracks. She's harsh, but fair. But before you find her, we all know the regulations. Technomancers get no leave from the front in times of war. So being here, I can't even sneeze without a report being written up. But you have a free pass. I need you to go to the exchange district for me. There's an itinerant merchant there who was supposed to arrive yesterday. Just meet with him. The merchants have no ties to abundance and travel among us like shadows. They hear things, whispered things, and pay people to forget they are there. I'm looking for information on any archaeological discoveries that could expose the Earthlings. Information that would help protect our secret. Ask him if they've heard of any such finds.
Yes, Great Master, as you wish.
Good, Zachariah. But take care that not a single soul knows what you're after. Not a single soul can hear your exchange with the merchants.
Lieutenant Zachariah Mancer, I think congratulations are in order. Captain Eliza Major, welcome to my unit.
The honor is mine, Captain.
For now, we're stationed in town and focusing on missions intended to maintain order and safety among the civilians. Here are the two other fine soldiers making up your unit for the time being, David Ward and Jeffrey Hunter.
My pleasure, Lieutenant! Congratulations, and...
Leave the ass-kissing for later, soldier. Lieutenant?
Yes, sir, Captain.
Excellent. Moving on to more pressing matters, our mission just came in, and it's aimed at smothering regime opposition. According to the intel the ASC gave us, those terrorists live in the slums, and are plotting several attacks to undermine our corporation. Your mission is to infiltrate the terrorists, stop the attacks, and find your way to their leader, Bulgakov. Orders are to capture Bulgakov alive. We're going to drain him for intel about other terrorist cells and dismantle the entire network. So beat him only as much as you need to take him.
You got it, Captain.
Move quickly. The longer you take, the more risk there is to the citizens of Ophir, and I won't have that. Before you go, though, there's one more mission, one requiring speed and discretion. We have deserters in our ranks, Lieutenant. Deserters planning to flee like rats through the city's underground. That won't happen. Do you understand me? You find them, and you eliminate them, each and every one. That seems harsh to you. Setbacks against Aurora have ruined our reputation, to the point that every action we take is scrutinized and extorted by those seeking to gain from our fall. A mass desertion would spell scandal if it became public. You catch them before any word of their escape comes out. So move, now! You only have a few hours.
Sorry, pal. Nobody enters this office if they got no pass.
That right, pal? I'm an officer and a technomancer, and I'm here to see Anton Rogue. Think you should let me in.
You even know who Anton Rogue is? He's the big fucking balls here. The boss. I don't care if you're a damn general. Get the hell out of here.
What else?
Show it to me. Alright, fine. You can come in even though you're dressed like... you stole it from one of our guys.
Look what the cat dragged in. The prodigal son. A diamond in the rough, risen from poor street trash to the godlike ranks of Technomancer. Now tell me, why am I so lucky to be in your presence?
I'm looking for a caravan of merchants. They were supposed to be in the exchange. Word is they were escorted to the slums, and you may know something about it.
Yeah, rude little men. My town, my streets. Uninvited competition who lack even the common decency to offer a little token of grace in exchange for their presence. If you're ready to settle their debts, I'd be happy to usher them back home.
These merchants were involved in some outside business that requires interrogation as soon as possible. You can either help me find them, or we can always turn our attention towards your business affairs. Your call, Anton.
So either I turn a blind eye or you do. Fair enough. Very well. Let's be magnanimous and hope that you will be too. You will find your suspects in one of our warehouses. Go see the guards and tell them, he who profits will deserve honor. They will give you the keys. Business is business, and now that ours is done, I will trust in your discretion.
Who are you? You don't look like a guard to me.
Because I'm not. Name's Zachariah and Andrew, lieutenant in Ophir. If you're the merchant who got himself kidnapped from the exchange, I'm here to get you out.
I am indeed. Fiorello, master of the caravan. The shadow still protects me. But I doubt you came to help us out of the generosity of spirit. Am I correct in that presumption?
Ian Mancer, great master of the Technomancers, sent me to talk to you.
Ah, I see. Yes. One of my favorite clients. And a man with whom I, indeed, have some information to share. Aurora has discovered a new site, not far from the Shadow Path. A site filled with objects of incredible condition, and even a relic, as rumor has it.
News I'm sure the Great Master will be glad to hear. You should go now. Get back on the exchange as quick as you can.
I'm not one to dally, Mancer. I'll see you around, I'm sure.
Leave this bag, please.
It belongs to you? Yeah, I figured. But I was expecting...
A man? Sorry to disappoint. But since you're here, minding my business, maybe I should introduce myself. I'm Bulgakov, one of the leaders of the opposition army. You gonna arrest me now?
Arrest you and take that bomb before it does any harm to the city.
You don't have a damn clue, do you, officer? That bomb was never meant for the city. This is our city, too. It was meant to take out the access roads to the city, to block the army convoys. It's time this fratricidal war finally came to an end. You think we're fighting for Aurora? You're wrong, officer. The opposition is made of patriots, and the war we're losing is making the true patriots weaker, while the politicians and their secret police grow stronger.
You're no patriot. A patriot would let her voice be heard at the assembly of the people, not set off bombs in the city she claims to love.
You couldn't possibly be that naive, could you, officer? Ask around. See if you can find just one person who dared to speak up at your precious assembly and is still around to talk. The only voice ever heard from is the Watchers. The rest are silenced, and will continue to be until only the ASC agents remain. Stay suspicious of me. It's your right. But I don't lie, officer. I'd never hurt the people on purpose. I only ever wanted to free them. Let me. Don't stand in my way, because it's the only road to a better abundance.
I hope I'm doing the right thing. Go on. Go! But leave the bomb. I trust you enough, but not that much.
I hear you. Thanks. And goodbye, officer. Beware the Watchers.
Zachariah, a pleasure as always. What may I do for you?
I finally managed to meet the merchants you told me about. It wasn't easy. The mob kidnapped them for serum. I freed them before talking to them.
I'm sure gratitude helped to loosen their lips. So what knowledge was gleaned from such lengths?
Word that Aurora is running large-scale excavations along the shadow paths near our territory, and in the process uncovering important objects, maybe even a relic.
Fascinating. Finds that are no doubt better off in our hands than those of Aurora's technomancers. Keep those merchants close, Zachariah. Information like that is such a priceless commodity. You are no more free to roam than the rest of us. Of that I have no doubt. But if you find yourself with access to a rover and perhaps find a way to that excavation site and locate the relic, well, you cannot know the value it might hold if brought back to us. It may seem petty. It's a mission for some rusty relic that may or may not even exist. However, if you are able to slip away from Ophir...
Lieutenant Zachariah Manson. What a pleasure.
Hello, sir. I don't think I've had the honor of meeting you before.
Ah, of course. I am Colonel Victor Watcher of the ASC.
Colonel.
At ease, Lieutenant, at ease. Simply came to congratulate you and learn that you become a technomancer of the highest degree. For a young man from the Rogue family, that's a terrific achievement.
Thank you.
No, thank you. Your road must have been difficult, but you persevered. An outsider who managed to work his way into the ranks of the elite technomancers. A marvelous story, especially given their secrecy. They've always fascinated me. Do you have any insight as to why they chose to be so insular?
I'm sorry, Colonel, but I don't know what you mean.
What a shame. By coming to you out of friendship and camaraderie, I was hoping that you wouldn't treat me like an outsider, too. All right, then. Back to your duties. But think about what I asked, and we'll see each other again.
You already back, Lieutenant Zachariah?
Captain, report.
Go ahead, Lieutenant.
The insurgency's been quelled.
What about this pain in my ass, Bulgakov?
Let me start with the good news. We stopped Bulgakov at the station before they set off their explosives. Bad news? She slipped away before we could grab her.
Starting with the good news doesn't make it any less of a failure, Lieutenant. The ASC's gonna try to rip us a new asshole over this. But the fact that they said Bulgakov was a man and not a woman might give us a bit of ammo to fire back with. I'm still pissed, but there's no telling how many lives you saved today. So go find Quartermaster Ryan and collect your pay. Let's keep the fuck-ups to a minimum, though, going forward. Only so many times I'll be able to cover your ass with the ASC.
So you got me, Mancer. Good for you. How much blood did you spill along the way? You're nothing more than a lackey for abundance. At some point, we've all felt the way you do about abundance. But they just take and take until we're all used up. We are tired and want out. But they send you, another loyal dog, to drag us back. I fought my whole life for them. Today, for once, I'm gonna fight for myself.
All right then, let's do this.
I am not your enemy. All I want is to live in peace. Please, I'm begging you.
Get the hell out. Don't ever show your face here again, and you can keep your life.
Hugh, I owe you my life, Mancer. I will never forget that. For as long as I live. Goodbye.
Look, Lieutenant, maybe it's just because I'm not used to life in the city, but...
Cut to the point, soldier.
I think we're being tailed, sir. I think someone's been watching us, but I don't know why.
All right. Any ideas how to figure out who it is?
Hell yeah. I ain't no hunter for nothing, sir. I'd say we could leave from, say, the barracks or something, and head towards the exchange. But, you know, act casual, like it's just another day. We just treat it like we're out for a walk. Then, once we know we're being followed, we lead him to a trap down a dead-end road. And pow! You've got him. Or her. Whoever it is.
That's one way to go. All right. Why not? Let's try it. See what happens. Ready to try your plan out?
Ha! Yeah, absolutely, Lieutenant!
All right. Just out on a stroll, right?
Yeah, just a stroll. He won't suspect anything. Let's head out this way.
Who the hell are you? Why are you following us?
You got nowhere to run. You're surrounded.
Fuck!
The hell is this? Looks like a notebook. And I'm willing to bet it's Technomancer behind all this shit. Looks like the little rat reported me to the ASC.
What? Really? Why would another Mancer tell on you? And for what? You're a great lieutenant, sir. You haven't done anything wrong.
Yeah, well, let's just say Alan's not exactly a fan. But this time, the little shit's gone too far. He's gonna give me an explanation. Hello, Alan.
Zachariah Rogue. They haven't sent you to die at war yet? A damn disappointment.
The little bird handed me some notes about a spy authored by a little rat. The rat should leave me alone and cut the shit out. Immediately.
I'm not sure I like your tone, Rogue. I have more important things to do than waste my time with the likes of you.
I should have known you wouldn't own up to your own lies. That would take courage, which you're lacking.
A rogue will never live up to the reputation of a real Mancer, and it's high time someone showed you. Oh, I've been waiting for this.
Stop this madness at once. Have your senses left you, Zachariah? Is this how I taught you? A technomancer fighting with students.
I'm sorry, Master.
He started it. What did you want me to do?
As for you, Alan, your constant provocations will one day find you an early grave. Don't fancy me a fool, for the fool is you.
Try something like that again, Alan. Please, try it again when no one's around to bail your sorry ass out.
You already back, Lieutenant Zachariah?
Captain, report?
Yes, Lieutenant.
Rest assured, potential scandal's been abolished. Everything's in order. We managed to neutralize most. Some, unfortunately, escaped.
Then you didn't act quickly enough. It should have been your priority, Lieutenant. Because of your failures, all we can do now is hope that the word doesn't spread. What was the fate of the sergeant in charge of the group?
Sergeant Boris? You'll be pleased to hear that he's been eliminated, as requested.
I'm glad to hear my expectations were met. As hard as it must have been to carry out those orders, it's never easy to take the life of one of your own, even if he was a coward and a traitor. You did well, saved us from scandal. My trust was well placed. Quartermaster has your pay. Go get it. It was well earned. Good. Moving on. We have new missions. Bit of a welcome change from the big chases. We've got state officials arriving in Ophir today, and an ASC warning that an influx of Aurora spies in the city are planning trouble. For security, the officials will be picked up in rovers outside the city and brought to the hangars, rather than coming through the station. We've got brigades tracking the spies, but you're gonna have to usher them through the slums and make sure they get to our quarters safely. No excuses. No failures. We clear? Questions, Lieutenant?
Oh, hey there. You're the officer who's escorting us? Damn, we got lucky. Our own Technomancer. Name's Nisha.
Pleasure. Zachariah and Andrew. I'll get you where you need to go.
Never met a Technomancer before. Must be amazing to have powers like that. I gotta say, I was getting pretty worried Aurora would try to attack us on the road. But with you tagging along?
We still need to be careful and stick together. Never know when danger's gonna crop up.
Did you hear that, Lieutenant? We gotta get over there.
Can't leave these people without an escort, soldier. They're vulnerable to attack. Go on, report back when you can.
We're following you, officer. Trusting you with our lives.
Let's head to the north gate. Then the guards can take you to the residence, or the exchange.
You're an impressive young man. I've always trusted our technomancers. Gentlemen, miss, let us dally no more.
Thank you, officer. I hope to see you around soon. I'll be at the source.
Lieutenant! Everything go all right? It's been awful over there. They blew up the protection shutters, so we had to evacuate everyone.
Yeah, I know. It wasn't just a diversion. It was a symbol, too. Destroy the roof of a rival city, and they won't forget about it anytime soon.
That's true. That's some good thinking, Lieutenant. So, we heading back to the barracks? Sure, the captain will be wanting your report as soon as possible.
You already back, Lieutenant Zachariah? Despite the attack, the officials reached the source.
All safe and sound at the...
You're already making yourself one hell of an asset, Lieutenant. You sure as hell earned your pay. Our response to the attack can't be passive. We strike fast, we strike hard, and we strike now. ASC discovered that they got in through the underworks. Through tunnels. Get a rover and Amelia Reacher to drive you there. And wipe the Aurora shits off the face of Mars and destroy their damn Failure's not an option. This is a mission of pride for this army, not just for abundance. They struck us in our... During their assassination plot, Aurora's diversion attempts destroyed some of our city's roofs, forcing us to evacuate blocks of citizens to protect them from the sun. We need the repairs done, and done quickly. But instead of working on the repairs where they're damn well needed, the fucking mutants have now chosen...
Will do, Captain.
Before you go, Lieutenant, I want you to know, your professor, Captain Sean Mancer, leaving the city for the front. Might want to go say goodbye.
Thank you, Captain. Appreciate it.
Zachariah, so your captain told you I was heading out, did she? I should be grateful. It is good to see you. Perhaps for the last time. I'm leaving for the front, as is expected.
I wish you could stay longer.
Wish that I could as well, if not only to appease my concern for you. But their will moves more than my desire. So they separate us, as they always have. To keep us divided. And I fear to further isolate you. Stay wary, mindful. You are in their sights, my dear Zachariah. You are the newest initiate, the youngest. And so, to them, the most attainable. The shortest route to knowing our secret. Such is our world. We are pawns in a chess game played by imbeciles, clinging to nothing but illusions of power. The real power that illusion brings. Take care, Zachariah. Take care.
I will. My word. Until we meet again, Master.
I'm afraid this is more of a farewell. And it's Sean. Forgive me not.
It is always sad to see a friend leave, especially when you know that he's going to risk his life every day. You must be feeling very lonely. It is up to you to earn a new friend to support you through hard times. A friend powerful enough. Have you thought about my request? What's little secret shared against a strong friendship, after all?
I would be honored to have you among my friends, Colonel. But alas, I don't know what secret you're alluding to. I'm sorry.
A pity indeed, because you will find out soon enough that while I can be a great friend, I can also be a fierce enemy. See you later, Lieutenant.
Looky you! Glad to see you. Can't tell you how much your help was. It is appreciated. Well, things might have worked themselves out in time, but who has time these days? And you sure saved me the hassle. You're a Technomancer?
I am. Zachariah Mancer.
I'm lucky, in name and in life. You Mancers all stick together. Know each other real well, don't you?
Know each other, maybe, but we're scattered between here and the front.
Right! The front. Of course, the front. So, I take it you know where I can find I believe his name is Master Connor?
He's still in town, away from the front, training recruits.
Lucky again. Just what I wanted to hear. Think you might be up to do me a favor?
Either way, I'm here. Tell me what you need.
Simple. To meet Master Connor and relay some information. With your help, of course. Without your help, well, being just a simple merchant, unwelcome outside the exchange, I suppose it'd be a bit harder. If not, impossible. You know as well as I do, a common merchant can't just stroll up to the likes of a master. So, you get me in front of him, and I'll owe you one. How about that?
I'll see what I can do.
And I'll be much obliged.
Connor, hello.
My dear Zachariah, a pleasure as always to see you, and my gratitude for your help. Now, please, stop calling me Master. You're one of us now. What brings you here?
I met a merchant fresh off the exchange who'd like to meet you.
Strange. Some delivery I'm not expecting, or something else?
He only said he had information to give. Didn't say what, but I thought maybe there was a chance he learned something about some relics during his travels.
Relics are more the great master's field of expertise than mine. I like to stick to molding our young recruits, but come, let us see what this is all about. Is it really you, Andrew? Can it really be?
I hate to disappoint, Master Connor, but I don't die easy. And I have a little too much pride to just let myself be tossed out with the trash. We got some explaining to do.
We did not toss you out with the trash. We just did not know how to help you. Your talents were uncontrollable. So we sent you away, hoping you would forget and move on.
Hoping I'd forget? When? As 10 years of my life wasted away at the hands of a merchant? I want my goddamn life back, asshole.
I'm so sorry. I don't know how I could make it up to you.
I don't know. But you can be damn sure I'll think of something. Get out.
Andrew, I cannot tell you how remarkable to see you. Simply remarkable. Pardon me, Zachariah. You cannot know how unexpected this was. Thank you. I must now return to the source.
You already back, Lieutenant Zachariah?
What does the name Andrew mean to you?
The long version of the name Andy? How about a last name? No? All right. Give me a second. I have a vague recollection of an Andrew linked to an accident at the Technomancer school years back. That what this is about? Some affair at the school? If it is, listen closely, Lieutenant. You're an officer now, not a school teacher. And I can't afford to have your attention divided. So get your head around that and out of the schoolyard. We clear?
Of course, Captain. Crystal clear.
Hey, you! A Technomancer, right? Get the hell out of here! You surge around here, you're gonna fuck up my baby for good.
Just like you don't spontaneously combust, we don't spontaneously search.
Is that you on the poster?
Yeah, name's Amelia Reacher. We're discoverers one and all, like father, like daughter. Why? What's it to you?
Well, me and my men need to get to a site on one of Aurora's shadow paths. Heard you'd make that happen.
Wish they gave me a heads up a Mancer was coming along. But orders are orders. I can take you whenever you're ready. First rover trip?
Yeah, first time this far from Ophir.
Nice! How's it feel?
Exciting, I guess. A little terrifying to go this far without having the protection of a shadow path, but life's about the adventure, isn't it?
Took the words out of my mouth. That's why I love my job so much. Life's too damn short to play it safe.
You guys doing okay? Nervous about the fights we're gonna face?
The fights? What fights? I did not leave my home and laboratory to foray into battle, child. Did someone tell me this? Because I don't recall being...
We needed a doctor with us, Scott.
Yes, I understand that. I do, but fighting it's dangerous. People get hurt, and I guess that's why... I mean, of course, I will care for you, but no fighting means no wounds to you.
Yeah, I can't lie. Yeah, it scares me. How big's the fight we're looking at?
Aurora's troops and Technomancers. We'll have to be tactical about it. Hit them in small groups, since there's not a lot of us. But we stick to that plan, and we should be fine.
Sure. Yeah, I'm sure once we get there and we get to doing and not just thinking, I'll be fine. It's the thinking that wreaks havoc on me.
This ain't my first rodeo, Lieutenant. Being on a rover is pretty neat and all, but still, no different from past missions. Hit an enemy, get hit back. Find ourselves down deep in Shit Creek and then wait for backup. In other words, it always goes tits up. But when you've been in the bad long enough, you get used to it.
Did you just call my baby pretty neat? That's it? Pretty neat?
I didn't mean... It's swell. Real swell.
Holy shit. I think you guys plucked this fucker from the farm before he was ripe.
Well, looks like we found the relic. Doesn't look like much, but the style of writing looks familiar. Even if I don't have a clue what it means. You able to decipher it? What is it? It even real?
We haven't been able to decipher it yet, but yes, no doubt it's real. Not sure if I can tell you anything else about it. I don't know what you're planning to do with it, and I don't want to offend you by talking about sacred matters, but you know some knowledge should only stay among technomancers, right? So be careful, please.
I know what I'm doing. This tunnel's gone. Aurora's got no way into Ophir anymore. Mission accomplished.
The intensity of the vibrations is soothing, hypnotic. They make me so tired.
Dear old Scott. My machine's caressing you with rumbles. Sweet talking ya. Can't go falling asleep on a battlefield, though.
Thanks to you, the city won't ever have to face another attack like the last. All those people wounded because of those broken shutters. Just thinking about it, I feel nauseous.
It's probably the rover. Gotta get used to the vibrations. Most people fucking puke their ass out their first time.
No, I meant the thought of all the... Never mind.
I really don't get it. This is war, right? Aurora shows up and blows up part of our city, and how do we retaliate? Send a handful of people like us? I don't get it.
You ever do anything but bitch? Successful mission. Tripping a rover? Hell, if I was you, I'd be grinning ear to ear. Why don't you do that? Bitch less, smile more. Sir, I've got, something to ask you.
What can I do for you?
Well, I don't know if you know, but my dad died when I was young. Actually, he disappeared. He never came back from one of his explorations 15 years ago.
I'm sorry. I didn't know.
Yeah, I don't want your pity, okay? It's not about that. What I mean is, I've never managed to find out what kind of mission he was on and where he had gone. I know he was close to Scott, who was probably even his best friend. That old crazy man doesn't want to tell me anything. He says he wants to protect me. Look, I'll just cut to the point. I was wondering if you'd maybe look in his dispensary for me, see if you could find any of my father's notes or letters or...
I don't know, Amelia. Scott's like a father to me. Then besides, you know he's almost always there. How would I even do it?
I'm not asking you to break in or steal nothing. Just keep him busy. And while you are there, you know, just flip through files. I'm sure he kept letters between him and my dad. He's not one to throw anything away.
All right. I'll try to make him leave, but if I don't find anything...
Yeah, I won't blame you. But I know that you're going to find something.
Is it related to you? Are you sick?
No. Not that I know of. She didn't tell me why.
Oh, well, should I take my pouch then? It's an important question. I should still take it though, but it's a little heavy. All right, I'm leaving without it.
I found some of your father's letters.
I knew it. Tell me.
Most of the correspondence was friendly. They were very close. However, there was some tension between them over time. Some letters gloss over an expedition that they had done together, but what surprised me the most is when your father talks about a boy who was actually Scott's son. The last letter I found is a bit bizarre. I didn't really understand what he meant.
What did he mean? Do you remember?
Your dad begged Scott to stop the madness, warning that his wife's divorce was only the beginning of what he would lose if he couldn't face the truth. That it was too late for his son. He seemed to think Scott was on the verge of self-destruction.
It's true that it's rather mysterious. Scott, a son. Did you know?
No, he never told me about him. He obviously lost him. No doubt it's still a touchy subject.
We have to find out what this is all about. You have to ask his wife. Did my father really mean to interfere in his family drama? Maybe that's why he disappeared? Please, Zachariah!
I'm sorry to... You Angela Seeker, Scott's wife?
Ex-wife? What did the drunk do this time?
Nothing bad. He's a friend.
A friend? Right.
Just looking for some information on one of his friends, Mark, and your son.
Get out! Get out! What right do you have coming around digging up the past?
I'm not here to make you relive your pain, and I'm sorry if that's what it looks like, but I'm here for Mark's daughter. She sent me to try to figure out what happened to her father.
The poor girl. Hard enough to lose things when you're old enough to understand. She was just a girl when Mark disappeared. If resurrecting my pain can help ease hers. I loved our son. Scott did too. But he was never around. He was too lost in his research, lost in the dream of making the discovery of the century, of becoming a hero in abundance. Then, one day, our son started to show signs of mutation. When Scott noticed them, he lost it. He tried to hide him as he desperately dove back into his research to find a cure. With Scott gone all the time, I turned to Mark for a shoulder to cry on. Told him what was going on. So Mark tried to reason with Scott. But you could never reason with him. He always thought he knew more. Then our son was arrested and Scott and Mark just took off on some crazy expedition. Left me alone to deal with it all. So I filed for divorce. I was alone anyway. Then they came back with nothing to show for all the damn time they were gone. That didn't stop Scott. No, he just dove deeper into his work. And when Mark disappeared, I was sure it was because of another one of Scott's crazy missions. So tell Amelia, it was Scott's incessant need to be right, to be a hero, that undoubtedly cost her father his life, and that's it. That's all I know.
I talked to Scott's ex-wife.
So, what did she say?
It's an awful story. Her son. Anyway, their son was struck by mutation. They took him away from them, of course, but it made Scott go crazy, and he was convinced that he could find a remedy. He asked for your father's help, so they left together, and were gone for a long time. Their exploration apparently didn't lead to anything concrete for the boy, and Scott descended into madness. And then one day, Mark left. His ex thinks that it was to bring back something useful for his research, and he never came back.
Shit. So my father's disappearance is related to that poor kid? It's really awful what they must have gone through. That explains a lot about why he's so crazy, and also why he behaves as if we were his kids. Thank you, Zach. That doesn't answer all of my questions, far from it, but I have a better grasp of what happened. My father disappeared by helping his best friend who was going through a rough patch and wanted to heal his child. It's a sad but beautiful story, isn't it? I'm gonna think about all this. Thank you again.
Hey there, you in charge of the mutant pen? Name's Zachariah and Andrew, Ophir officer.
Hey, yeah. Pen's my responsibility. Sure. Dan Stewart, what can I do for you?
I managed to stop the rebellion. The mutants should resume work soon.
Well, there's a bit of good news. Sure it wouldn't have ended so well without your help. I would have lost my job, so thank you.
Mutants are back to work, Captain.
Well done, Lieutenant. Now go see Ryan and get paid.
Captain, all Aurora tunnels were destroyed. If they're gonna get back into the city, they'll have to come up with another way.
I knew you wouldn't let me down, Lieutenant. Find Ryan and get your pay. It was well earned. Colonel Ian Mancer came by looking for you. Hope this isn't going to be a habit, Lieutenant. His problems aren't yours anymore. You're part of my unit now. We clear?
Of course. I'll go see him on my own time, not yours, Captain. I've returned, Great Master, with the relic from the Aurora evacuation. It's a tablet filled with text, and I don't have a clue how to decipher it.
A glorious day. You have no idea what this means, Zachariah. The language is indeed difficult, and most no longer have the knowledge or ability to understand it. Most, but not me. I will begin deciphering immediately. We will know soon enough the vast wealth of secrets it holds. Sean was certainly right in his appraisal of you. Your worth has already proven to be infinitely valuable. A word of warning, Zachariah. Words spreading about your missions. Things you've been able to accomplish, filled with troubling details that imply you have a mole in your midst. If there is an ASC spy amongst your ranks, he will not only know our secret, but eventually share it back to his master. We will, in no uncertain terms, be lost. All will be lost. So take care. And take care of it. Sooner rather than later.
Thank you for the warning. I assure you, I will get to the root of this.
Lieutenant?
I know you're a drinking man, so what do you say we go grab one together?
Looks like it's my lucky day. Sure, why the hell not? Lead the way. So why don't you cut the bull and tell me why we're really here?
Sure.
You've been spying on me, Dave, and reporting everything back to Victor. I don't like rats. That's not all right with me.
Is it a surprise I have no loyalty to you? I don't like you, Lieutenant. Never did. I sure as hell wasn't gonna risk making Victor angry at me to save your ass. Hell, I was downright excited to tell him what I knew. Even some shit I didn't know and just felt like making up. And in return, they left me the hell alone. All I ever wanted. And worth every moment. If you don't like it, complain to the Colonel.
I don't want your blood on my hands, David, but I can't let you keep doing what you're doing. So I'm just gonna tell you to get the hell out of Ophir, and don't look back.
Sure. Yeah, sure. Bye, Lieutenant.
I found the mole. David Ward was running lines for the ASC.
In these times, spies are everywhere. They used to be like rats, but now bear more resemblance to cockroaches. Should you see one, you can be certain 100 more reside in the walls, each placed there while their arms were twisted by the ASC. So what happened with this ward?
I couldn't find it in myself to kill him, so I released him and let him run, like a rat. I would assume he's still running and we'll never see him in Ophir again.
The full blame cannot be cast on him. There are few who the ASC cannot bend to their will. We'll cross our fingers. Hopefully this soldier is gone for good and does not find himself arrested before he should escape.
Lieutenant, I was told Dave Ward has gone AWOL. Any idea where he is?
Sorry, Cap, I haven't got the slightest clue.
I see. This is bad. I have no choice but to declare him a deserter. I'm afraid there'll be gossip that you can't earn the respect of your men, and the Army's reputation will take another hit. I warned you to keep your head down, Lieutenant. Don't know what you did, but Colonel Victor was having you tailed during your missions, and now he's got a shitload to say about it, and none of it's good. I tried defending you, but the things he's saying, you diffuse the rebellion, but in a way that makes you seem pretty pro-mutant. Now, I told you myself, I'd give you a chance to explain, but you better talk quick. In the ASC, there's zero tolerance for mutant sympathy. And if you don't have a different version to tell, Victor's hinting at collateral damage.
I don't know what's going on. Someone's trying to bring me down, and they're lying to Victor to do it. Only thing I used to calm the rebellion was a little reason and logic, which the rebels heard. Anything accusing me of anything else is a lie.
All right, fair enough. But you'll have to make your case to him as well. Victor also states you voluntarily jeopardized the lives of the officials you were charged with protecting. Want to explain that?
How do I explain something that's not... If I put those officials' lives in more danger, I'd have been risking my men's lives and mine as well. Why would I do that?
And the claims that you've been hiding vital intel for the sole benefit of your fellow technomancers. Like an important research site on the shadow path of Aurora that didn't even register a line item in your reports?
Captain, the only thing I've ever done is accomplish the missions you gave me. Nothing more, nothing less. Never concealed anything, or had any other interest but abundance is at the forefront. This is unfair.
I know what you've accomplished. Also know what he's saying. And even if he's not a fan of technomancers, that alone wouldn't motivate him to make all this up to frame you. And the list of accusations and the details is long. Like your report on the deserters. Less truth than lies. Almost more lies than ink. Never would have expected it from you, Lieutenant.
Captain, if I was in your shoes, I'd feel the same. But take a step back. All those missions you sent me on, all the success I brought back to you. Whatever the Colonel's after, it's not about my actions. There's gotta be something else.
Of course there's more to it, Lieutenant. You lie, conceal intel, and then claim you're just a poor, innocent target? We're at war! Hear me? Which side are you on? Why the hell would the Colonel waste his energy at a time like this on a single damn lieutenant? If he didn't think you could be a real danger. This is your own fault, Lieutenant. Your fault. Maybe you're just a pawn. I don't know, though. And that scares me. Unfortunately, he's already called you in, and I can't stop it. All I can tell you is watch your mouth. Behave like the soldier you've been since you joined my company, and you'll come out just fine. I'll plead in your favor if it comes down to that. Let's just hope it doesn't. Get going. Colonel's waiting. Good luck.
There he is!
Zachariah! I was scared we were too late.
For what? What's going on?
There's no time to talk about it. You're in danger. Victor called you in, didn't he?
Yeah, wants to talk to me about...
No, he doesn't. It's a trap. It's just an excuse to get you there so they can arrest you. They will do whatever necessary to make you talk. I don't know what you technomancers are hiding, but he's ready to do anything to find out.
He's got power, but he wouldn't...
Zach, listen to the girl. You stay away from that man. The crook, the pig!
Thanks, Scott. You need to listen to us, Zachariah. I know it's hard to hear, but if you stay here, you're gonna die.
Where would I even...
We take a rover and go. The town's filled with ASC looking for you now, but I know a road that'll help us avoid most of the troops.
Let's go, Zach. We need to go with the girl. No time to waste before that madman gets his hands on you. Now!
For the last time, we're not here to damage the equipment. We're here to stop a terrorist. So get out of the way, now!
it. They're already here.
Who the fuck do you think you are? It's my warehouse, you prick. If there was a terrorist here, I'm pretty sure I'd have seen his ass lurking around. So you're gonna... Hey! Make yourself at home.
Lieutenant, sorry to ruin the surprise, but your little mission ends here.
Stop the traitor!
No! Don't kill him!
You're driving. Get us out of Ophir now.
Bitch. Fine. Everyone in the rover.
You okay, Zach?
One day, I find out Victor used everything I did as an officer against me, and I end up chased by my own people. Then one of my own soldiers turns out to be ASC, and I get involved in the armed robbery of a rover owned by my childhood corporation. Yeah, I'm doing okay, Nisha.
Surely the young lady would not be taking us to an imaginary city. I mean, rovers are amazing machines, but certainly they cannot transport one beyond the bounds of reality and reason. I am not keen on leaving Abundance.
Noctis is an amazing city, Scott. It's as real as Ophir, but more amazing than anything you've ever seen before.
Oh, yes, I'm sure. Full of fairies and balderdash.
Listen, Amelia, I'm sorry things went down the way they did. We didn't have a choice, though. The ASC after us and not a lot of time. Thanks for taking us wherever it is we're going.
Thanks for the thanks, but it doesn't change the fact I still want to see your asshole head on a stake at some point. Shit, look what that stupid creature did to my baby! The engine's fucked! When you repair this, you didn't even leave me spare parts! You really...
An ostrich. No doubt about it, it's a wild ostrich. Look, you see the spikes on its back? Unfortunately, the poor animal died, but I'm almost sure that...
Well, according to the sky, we don't have much time before sunrise. Fortunately, we're not very far away. We better get a move on.
It's a pretty good idea, because, as I was about to tell you, these creatures are social. They rarely travel alone. We might find ourselves in the middle of a herd, and an angry ostrich can be very dangerous.
Very good. Want to guide us, Nisha? And Amelia, leave that rover alone. As you said, you won't be able to fix it. And if you stay, you'll die.
Isn't that what that bitch wanted? That I die? I hate you all.
Stop it. We never wanted you to die. We need you. I know that you love that machine, but there's no time to cry over it. Come on.
They're trying to open the roof.
You! Up there! Stop! Stop! It's Nisha! Listen to me! Stop! We'll take care of the creatures!
I'm sorry, Nisha! I'm stopping right now! But I'll only be able to open the doors for you once the area is completely secured!
Nisha, I'm so glad to see you. We were starting to get worried about you. The news from Ophir sounded a little chaotic. You look healthy.
Worried? About me? Give me some credit. Let me introduce you to Zachariah and Andrew. He's the reason why I'm here.
Look at that. The Technomancer who saved us from the Vori. Interesting. Very interesting. Happy to see you again. Now I understand why the prince was insistent. He'll want to see you as soon as possible.
The prince?
Dandolo. He rules our city. If I were you, I wouldn't keep him waiting. He loses patience quickly. There's nothing like fresh news for him to be on pins and needles. But don't worry, he's a charming man, and he loves Nisha.
Very well. I'll go see him. Hey, I saw you in the mutant pen in Ophir. How did you...
Let's just say that I'm not a permanent resident of the pen, even if I go there sometimes to help my brothers out. I'll let you go off and see the prince, but I'd like a word with you later. I'll be next to the sand sails.
All right. I'll drop by. Wait a... Your name's Andrew, isn't it? We went to the academy together. But didn't we... I overheard you talking to Master Connor after I brought him to meet you.
I guess you overheard. Very well. Come find me once you've met with the prince. We'll talk about it. Go now. Don't keep him waiting.
Check the leading against me. Ah, and here comes the rare pearl, the diamond in the rough that my Nisha tells me about. Come, young man.
Zachariah and Andrew. was a lieutenant in Abundance.
Then welcome to Noctus Labyrinthus, Zachariah and Andrew, former lieutenant of Abundance. I am Dandolo, head of this fair city.
Legendary city of the merchants. Apparently less legend than I thought, or been told.
But hopefully as glorious as legends proclaim. Regardless, for all who come seeking asylum, it opens its arms to you and your companions. You are free to call it home. Like all who have come before you, you will honor our only request, that you make yourselves useful to our city. I'm sure your skills will place you in high demand. Noctis's first Technomancer. Exciting. You'll have all the help you need with Nisha and Lucky, who I believe you've met. We'll give you a room to get some rest. I hear your trip was quite eventful. There is something else. I would like to personally discuss my expectations of you. You hear? War between Abundance and Aurora's winding down. Aurora took Green Hope.
Just left Ophir a few hours ago and didn't hear anything about that.
That really surprise you? Your little censorship office probably hasn't decided what to do with the information yet. No. Don't look at me like that. You don't belong to Abundance anymore. The truce doesn't behoove us. During peace, the corporations become more suspicious of us and our business suffers. Our city could even be discovered, which would be catastrophic. In legend, it must remain.
What do you...
No, let me speak. Your welcome here comes at a price. I want you to attack an Aurora convoy. It's right up your alley.
And why would I do that?
I didn't finish. You will do it in Abundance uniforms, dissolving the truce. Do what you want with the soldiers, but let the civilians live. They need to be witnesses that will report back to Aurora.
So you keep the war going?
Precisely. And while you're at it, bring back the uniforms of the Aurora Technomancers you dispatch. I'm sure I'll find a use for them down the road. Another thing, much more trivial this time, I assure you. The rover you came in on, I'd like you to move it. Put it wherever you want, do whatever you want with it. Just make sure it's not in the way in the canyon. I just don't want Ophir to stumble over the machine and, as a result, find the road that leads here.
Yeah, I'll see what I can do.
Oh yes, one last thing. My spies gave me a little tidbit that might interest you. Right after your escape, the ASC arrested your Technomancer brothers, that's what you call them, right? From Ophir. Their fate's uncertain, but if I was you, I'd be worried for them. If you're worried enough to want to help them, maybe we can set up some sand sails to get you back.
And your help comes at what cost? Assuming it's not out of the kindness of your heart.
Don't be so bitter, Zachariah. Business is business, not personal. I just thought a few Technomancers on our side might be useful.
Yes, I apologize once again for having to play this role in front of you, but the situation was a difficult one, and I could not risk blowing my cover.
I understand. You're one of Dandolo's spies too?
No, I work for my people, even if Dandolo was a precious ally. I was in Ophir to plan an escape, but it was not exactly what I wanted to tell you about. I would like to offer you my services.
You're also a mercenary?
No, I am not interested in serum, and a Technomancer ally, yes. It is rare for mutants to know someone with your talents. So if you need a hand or any information, you know where to find me. And maybe I will ask for your services once in a while.
All right.
Hey, there you are. Your meeting go well.
As well as hoped. Thanks.
Then let's get down to business. You know who I am. You know my past. You know what little I have left. What are you gonna do about it now is the question. You gonna use what you can against me? Or let me carry on with the small life I've managed to build?
I want to help you. What can I do?
Some things can't be healed, Rogue. Like that scar across your face. I'm guessing you got it the day I lost everything. And was reduced to a sad, broken, armless shadow of what I might have been.
Some things can't be healed, but most can be mended, friend. Let me ask around. It might be a long shot, but maybe you'll find a new reason to call yourself lucky again. We'll find someone who can lead you back to your gifts. I promise.
I may be bitter, but I'm no less grateful. Thank you, Zachariah. A little show of kindness goes a long way.
What happened that day?
I had a surge. A big one. One even the Masters never saw coming, literally. Before they even knew what was happening, I electrified everyone and everything around me. It screamed like thunder from my body, before the ceiling itself finally collapsed in on me. I woke up in the infirmary without an arm, surrounded by all those powerful Masters who stood there shaken, whispering, their eyes still filled with fear. Then everything went dark again, and I woke up in a sand sail.
Why aren't you with your family?
Right, my family. They were small-time merchants. I'm sure real proud their son was gifted with technomancy and was joining the school. But they were also scared as shit of me for the same reason. We're all scared of what we don't understand. It's why so many fear us both. Not that I'm sure any of the Masters even asked them to take me back. It was more important to them that I disappear for good, to hide what happened, keep the illusion of their infallibility intact. Also, to hide the fact they had people among them who had the power to take down entire buildings. No, I had to go. In some ways, they even did me a favor.
And you never tried to reconnect with them? Even after you got free?
No, I looked for him. Even tracked down my father. He was just this old man. Didn't even recognize me. And if he did, he'd probably just hate me for what I've become. A crippled outcast, not something you'd put your pride in. So I let it lie, just walked away.
What about your gift? I thought people died if they didn't use their fluid.
It's a myth. There are rogue technomancers out there. Not a lot, but a few. They know how to control their fluid surges. Probably the only thing that piece of shit Marcello could take credit for. He introduced me to one of those guys, and after that, I learned to control it the hard way. The irony, no? I'll never be a technomancer now, but I control the fluid better than any of Abundance's masters. Not for power, just to make sure my own brain doesn't fry.
What have you been up to since you left?
What have I done? Well, after spending 10 years of my life as a slave trying to pay that piece of shit Marcello back for what he called my debts, traveled in his luggage hold, did his dirty jobs, whatever he needed to get his business going. Carried crates, drove sand sails, shoveled sand, ran errands, but mostly just picked his customers' pockets. I traveled a lot, though, if I'm going to find any silver lining in it, and I've earned my damn place here in Noctis. Even if the price of that has been rarely sleeping in a real bed or reading a book that wasn't about accounting.
Should have remembered you. Back when we were kids, the world just revolved around you.
Really? How so?
You were quite the charmer.
Everyone gravitated to you. Made me feel like I didn't even exist. I was just one of the many kids who dreamed of being your friend. Remember the feeling more than anything else.
Funny you remember that. Yeah, we were both kind of... Neither one of us really fit in. We were just outsiders in different ways. I tried to do too much, tried to make up for being different. You were just always yourself. You must have felt so alone, but you never made friends just to fill the loneliness. Never thought I'd see you again, Zachariah. Let alone ever have this conversation with you. I'm happy to have found you. Again. Even if it comes with all those bad memories.
What do you think about Andrew? He comes from Ophir like you, and he could have become a technomancer, but he had an accident.
I remember, yes. You know that I was the one who had spotted his abilities and had taken him to school, as I did for you? I thought that he was dead. That's what I was told, that he was dead. I shouldn't have listened to them. He looks perfectly alive now.
Yes, but he lost an arm during the accident, and he can't use technomancy anymore.
How so? That's ridiculous. Technomancy has nothing to do with arms. It is all in the head. You just have to... Let me think. Yes, I think that with... Yes, that's it. With a full Technomancer kit, I would have the parts needed to create a bypass on a classic prosthesis. But I would need my notes to do that.
Your notes?
I studied Technomancy as well. Anyway, from a scientific standpoint, obviously. I have never thrown lightning bolts, and I can't do it physically. Moreover, those kits wouldn't suit me, I'm sure.
Scott, you studied technomancy?
Yes, and I had conducted in-depth research on the way in which your neural network expressed its static charge throughout your equipment. But all this is old. I can't remember it all, and I left my notes in Ophir. I won't have any trouble helping that boy if you bring me my notes and the equipment. You wanted something else?
No. Thank you, Scott. I'm gonna try to bring all that back. Here on a private matter. You by any chance know the underworks?
Well enough. Even here, there's rules that forbid us to go to certain parts of the city, but in these tunnels, they become little more than technicalities.
I'm looking to get to the Technomancer's chapel. There's an entrance in the crypt, but I don't know how to get there.
Well, I can show you the tunnels under the source. Once upon a time, I used to smuggle merchandise through there. Remember hearing about some magical gate down there, too? I take it it's the kind of gate only your kind can open? Yeah, I've run into a few of those along my travels. I'll show you on a map. Be careful, Mr. Technomancer. The tunnels have always been guarded. Now it's probably even worse. Word is that the ASC's forced its way into the chapel's main entrance.
I'm gonna need another Technomancer to help me open this gate, or find another way in. I'm sure it won't be easy, but thanks for the help. It's gonna do a lot of good. Good luck.
Good luck.
I'm here to free you, you and all the others. We must go, though. Now.
Ah, Zachariah. My faith in you was not misplaced.
Come on, we're going to take you down!
They're coming, Zachariah. Go! There's a dome hidden in the desert. One spoken of in the tablet you brought me. Find it.
You won't get away!
They're here! Lead our kind through the crypt. Save them!
Come on, guys!
I won't leave you. There is no time to debate. Go! For God's sake. How?
Great Master.
Go on. I will help him. And tell Andrew. I am sorry.
But...
Flee, Zachariah! Protect our kind!
Move, you idiot! Run! They're overloading them!
Take this elevator straight to the sand sails. From there, the merchants will take you to Noctis.
Are you? The legendary city of the merchants? For real? Amazing! But what about the other technomancers who escaped the ASC too? Are they going to be able to...
Talk to the merchant running the sand sails. I'm sure he'll be able to help them too, and they can join us in Noctis with other caravans.
Zachariah, thank you. What would have happened to us without you?
Zachariah, the great hero of his brothers, has returned triumphant, amazing, against all odds, against a city. Bravo! But I don't see anyone resembling the Great Master. Is he...
dead? He sacrificed himself so we could get out.
Oh, so sad, truly. Well, please tell your colleagues, your brothers, they are welcomed here. Let them rest and regain their strength. I can only imagine what the ASC put them through, and without their great master they must feel lost. On top of it all, feel the void for a leader among them. No?
What are you getting at?
Just simply that, as their hero, it might be in their best interest for you to fill that void. I don't purport to understand how these things work among your kind, through a vote or drinking game, but you've earned it. They need you to pull them back together after what they've been through. And to have a unified group of technomancers among us to serve would be valuable beyond imagination. Think about it.
I'll think about it. But now's not the time. We need to mourn the fallen. I brought you back what you asked for.
Oh, you found the ostrich egg cream.
No, but I found your notes on technomancy, and I found a full kit. For Andrew, the prosthesis.
Ah, yes! The prosthesis. Give it to me. No. It shouldn't take me long. Roughly a few hours, just enough time to go through my notes. It would go even faster if you gave me a hand. You really didn't remember to bring me any cream. That's too bad.
Very well. I'll help you. Pass me the prosthesis. So, Scott, success?
Of course. These kits are rather easy to adapt to a prosthesis, and it's given me ideas. You see, we could produce prostheses with an electrical transmission system, even for non-technomancers. We would just have to...
May I?
Here.
I'd prefer if all those people weren't around.
Let's go to a quiet place.
Hey, watch out! Oh, you bought it? Don't worry, I've already messed you up enough.
You got me.
You know, not using Technomancy requires even more control, mastery. I'd completely forgotten this feeling of relaxation, peace.
Welcome back to your people, Andrew.
Thank you very much to both of you. It's so strange. I feel like I'm a new man.
You're welcome, my boy. Have fun.
Hey.
Hey back.
I'm really happy you're here. With us. With me.
I'm happy too. Without you, I'd just be a poor broken man, lonely and jaded, wasting his life.
It's crazy that's how you see yourself. I'd have never imagined. I remember that time we had to spar against Alan, one of his tough guy asshole sidekicks.
Weren't so tough after we finished with them, were they? You talk about how good I was like you weren't gifted too. Alan never did forgive us for that. Thought that anger was gonna kill him for a while there.
Instead, it just seemed to keep him going. And he got his revenge. You remember that? Scott even had to come take care of me.
I remember Scott seeing you, but I thought it was because you'd gotten sick.
Sick from the beating I got, maybe, after Alan and his fellow pricks cornered me in one of the halls. Broke 2 of my ribs.
If I'd have known that, Alan might not be walking around today. Wish I could have protected you. Won't make that same mistake again. I want to be like your shadow.
I'd be happy to be in your shadow.
Zachariah, I am glad to see you. What you did, what you risked for us, no one will ever forget. We lost many, and for that, we are mourning. But we can at least celebrate that because of you, the Order has not disappeared.
We're brothers and sisters. We stand together.
Yes, and others have joined us too, you know. The merchants spread the word to those who are still in hiding. But for those non-initiated and those who passed, we are all here. Did the Great Master manage to tell or give you anything before he passed, before his sacrifice?
He told me to watch over the Order, Gave me a tablet. He'd managed to translate the text of the relic I'd brought back from an excavation in Aurora.
And what did it say?
It talks about an important research base, the largest the settlers ever built on Mars, one that was in contact with Earth. It had a beacon. Unfortunately, it didn't say where the base was, only the location of a smaller dome that housed some of the larger base's scientists.
Then we must find it. Oh, I can feel it, Zachariah. We are so close to contacting Earth again.
Maybe, but I have the feeling we're not the only ones who know about it, though. Thanks to Alan, the ASC might have gotten their hands on the tablet while the Great Master was being held.
Alan? How could he betray our order? We have to beat the ASC to that dome. What can I do to help?
Dozens of technomancers have spent years trying to re-establish contact with Earth. What can you tell me about that?
Well, first, that search has been stalled for years. At the beginning, of course, we collected anything relating to the settlers. Most of the relics, though, turned out to be just simple tools. The wars and our inability to travel out of our infrastructure had all but squashed the opportunity to explore. This is the first time that we have been freed of our yokes, free to explore again. What limits our work, though, is that few of us can read the settlers' secret writings. A gift, I believe, only the Great Master had. And with the most important knowledge having been written in that language, what we know, though, is that there is, in fact, an intact beacon somewhere. That there are still many undiscovered sites, and now today, with you, we have a hope again to find it.
Halt! Don't move! What are you doing? In case you haven't heard, there's been a truce, and a peace treaty's being negotiated.
Yeah, we heard. Truth is, though, we're not part of Abundance anymore.
If you're seeking asylum, I'm sorry, but...
That's not what we're after. Even if the deal's tempting... Just listen. We work for a guy who wants nothing more than to restart the war between your corporation and Abundance. We were sent to attack you and make it look like Abundance broke the truce.
So why are you telling me?
Because I've seen too much blood and war for one lifetime. But I need a favor. Our backer wanted us to bring back your uniforms to prove we accomplished the mission.
Your employer won't just take your word for it? Doesn't sound like such a good employer. Here, take this key. It'll get you into our stock over there. We always have some spares. You're a Technomancer too? What a shame. Would have been nice to just talk. Exchange information we know about the settlers. About Earth.
Maybe another time, yeah? Thanks for the key. I moved the rover for you. If Ophir finds the road in, it won't be because of me.
Yes, I already heard. Sorry if the request seemed paranoid. Better safe than sorry.
We found the Aurora convoy you wanted us to hit. Convoy attack went off as planned. We left the witnesses and brought back the uniforms.
Oh, delightful. And these uniforms, so spotless after a bloody battle. You deserve a round of applause for fighting like such a gentleman. Now, if I had a choice, I wouldn't assign you a new mission so quickly, but alas, it's urgent. Remember earlier when I told you Ophir's Vori have their sights set on Noctis? Want a foothold in my city that'll let them reach the other corporations? Well, the thought's been eating at me. Makes me sick to think of their violence intruding on this city. Luckily, up till now, it was just a distant threat. Scuffles in our fair city and the attitudes of some of our newer inhabitants make me wonder why they haven't already found their way in.
What do you want me to do exactly?
Investigate. Suss it out. You know the Vori, their methods, probably even some of their members. If they're here, I'm sure you'll see them. When you do, lure them out, then kick them out. We don't want them here. Oh, one more thing, probably nothing. I'm sure you're aware the ASC now controls Ophir. And, as I'm sure you can imagine, its constant surveillance makes it difficult for our underground matters. All thanks to new asinine restrictions created daily, like a tightening noose. So I need you to smuggle some of our merchandise in through the city's underworks, as you call it, to one of our clients. And since I know you know them well, it should be a cakewalk for you. And lucrative. Very lucrative. My property manager will give you the goods.
I'll do my best.
So, just when I thought shit couldn't be worse. Her engine's been blown like a John in a whorehouse. Gonna need some spare parts now. A stator, a thermic regulator, a rotor. With only a few rovers out there, it's not like you can just grab those parts from the nearest merchant. There is one in Ophir, though. He used to have a machine for me from scratch. And I heard there may be someone else here in Noctis who sells them too. However, when it comes to prices, since we don't have abundance of support, it's not the same anymore. It's gonna cost you an arm and a leg, honey. I wouldn't mind seeing you go broke, but there are other options. Let me think. In my shed, I had a replacement stator ready to go. I imagine that the area is closely monitored, but if you manage to sneak in, maybe you could recover it. I also had a delivery waiting. The quartermaster, Ryan Stewart. I imagine he must still have a rotor in his inventory since I'm not there anymore. It won't be easy to get it back, but that's your problem.
I go back with Ryan, know his inventory well. Though with all those soldiers in the barracks, it'll be a tough nut to crack.
The final option's a robber I heard of who parts everything he fucking finds. Not a guy I'd want to grab a drink with, but I heard he's got spare rover parts. May have one of the ones we need. And I've heard that he wasn't interested in serum. Maybe you'll have to take chances, who knows? Anyway, it could be a lead. One last thing. I found the tools I'll need. However, I was in such a rush that I forgot to take my serum. I don't have a single drop of it left. And since around here they don't give away freebies...
Here, take this. You will be able to buy your tools.
Well done. Wow, this is great. You just have to go get me the parts now.
I'll take care of it. The shed, Ryan's inventory, the looter, or if I want to go broke, the merchants. See? I remember everything.
Ah, now there's a familiar fucking face. The notorious wanted mancer from Ophir. You have any idea how much serum your head's worth? If the boss hadn't told us to stay away from that contract, I'd have it in a bag right now.
How'd you find Noctis? Not like it's on a map.
Just like everyone else here, a smuggler got us in, and why wouldn't we? Ain't everyone welcome in Noctis? Total opposite of Ophir. We just blended in with the crowd escaping that shithole city, and the rest is the present. And damn if I don't love this place. So much opportunity. A breath of fresh air unlike the stale bullshit of Ophir. A lot of serum to be made here. Not as much corruption, for sure, but we're working on that.
Dandolo sent me.
And you want me to give a fuck?
You and the Vori have been extorting and murdering in Noctis since you got here. We're tired of it. We're asking you to leave. Nicely. You're not wanted here.
Oh, okay. And I'm supposed to say, thank you for asking so polite? We'll be leaving now? Boss said you were smart, but I'm starting to think otherwise. So here's what we'll do. We stay, you act like you don't know we're here, and maybe down the line, I'll throw some work your way. Good? Good. All right, go on. Get out of here.
Maybe I wasn't clear enough. You're in real trouble here. I know you fear Anton, but Dandolo can be even worse than your boss when he wants to be.
Yeah, I know. He's the only guy dangerous enough for Anton to even pay attention to. Fine. We'll move out. But this ain't even close to being over. Anton Rogan the type to ever back down from a fight. He might regroup, but when he does, shit hits the fan.
Looks like your dreams came true. Your men finally found a way into Noctis.
And from what I heard, you went in with a little heavy hand yourself with my men, which isn't really great for our relationship. But it's fine. Live by brutality, die by brutality. Maybe I could be understanding of your methods if you could be a little more tolerant of my needs.
How's that?
I'd really love to send some men back to Noctis. Tell them to stay out of the way. Keep discreet. I don't want control in the city. I just want access to the other corporations. Nothing that would step on your friend's toes. Just some healthy competition. What do you say? Not that I expect you to say yes without a fair price. for your patience and understanding.
If I could believe you, Anton, then maybe. But if I give you a bit, then before long, you'll want it all.
Brilliant, brilliant, Mancer. You win. Throw me and my men out. That'll clean up the damn city. There are bigger fish for you to worry about. Victor's pretty entrenched in the notorious secret city. Who knows if my men could have helped you out at some point.
Don't think I'll need them. You think you're telling me something new? Victor's men aren't exactly discreet.
Good for you for learning the ropes. Keeping your ear to the ground. About time.
Yeah, guess I'm growing up. A few things I'd still like to find out, though. Like what and how your men managed to learn what they know about the city.
I'm not one to donate information, but it's a funny story, so I'll make an exception. You see, the Prince Merchant is a smart man, but not a wise one. He forgot one important thing. The city thrives on the backs of those who lack loyalties. And mercenaries lack, among many things, loyalty to anything but the serum. Serum that is doled out quite generously by the Colonel in exchange for their undivided attention to his needs. And soon, the Zealots taking refuge in Noctis conferred their loyalties to Victor based on the concocted dreams of a free pass into heaven for their services. A parade of idiocy, from start to finish, one and all trading loyalties for their magic beans of choice. If you're looking to learn what the spies found out for the Colonel, I'm sorry to say I haven't a clue. But I do know I'd pay a tidy price to see the look on Dandolo's face right about now.
Guess we all have our little amusements. Thanks for the info.
What the fuck are you doing here? This is private property, and you have no business here.
We don't give a damn about your warehouse. What we want are answers, and like it or not, you're gonna talk.
Stop! That's it! I'll tell you what you want to know.
Very well. You're the one who used to turn in people who were an obstacle to the ASC, right? The one who was sending innocents to rehabilitation camps?
No, look, it's way more complicated than that. Yeah, sure, I was in charge of making up evidence back when proof was needed to frame some of them. But with the ASC out there headhunting, now all you gotta do is send an anonymous letter to get someone deported. But most of the time, it wasn't I who was in charge of deciding who had to leave. We would get together and present those who might threaten us. It wasn't a single man's decision. Anton wasn't our chief yet.
Not most of the time, but it happened. You sent a bunch of street kids straight to a camp, and I don't see what threat they represented, so? Why? Personal vengeance? What the hell did they do to you?
Nothing, but a girl from that gang came to see me. She told me that another kid had overheard us, and she wanted to turn us in. It was believable. And since that snot-nosed kid could have talked about it with his gang, I turned in the whole group.
You're lying. It doesn't make sense. None of us would have turned in someone in the group.
I know what I'm talking about. Why would I lie to you? The kid, I think her name was Gloria.
You lie! Gloria would have never done anything like that, you son of a... You're gonna die, scumbag.
Nisha, I understand your anger, but killing him won't give you back your years spent in a camp. Come on, leave him alone and let's go.
That guy's a monster, Zach. He used the most sinister characters of our corporations and manipulated them to get rid of poor innocent people. But you're right. This won't give me back what he took from me, nor what he took from others. I'll follow you.
So, I just give this to you?
Holy hell, man. You can't announce it to Victor on loudspeaker, why don't you? You're damn lucky nobody's around right now. Are you new? You got everything I need, that's all I care about. Kinda surprised, though. Thought we'd seen the last of the deliveries from our little merchant friends, given what happened. Don't know how the hell you did it.
What are you talking about?
Hell, you don't know? Victor had a caravan stopped and every poor bastard in it tortured. Truth is, they ain't just rumors. Our informants never let us down before. You better be careful, Mancer. Really careful. Oh, one last thing. Keep the deliveries coming. And I know you want to know if I'm a painter, and those are really just pigments. Better you don't dig too deep, though. Safer for everyone. What's good, Zachariah? Got my parts yet?
As promised, rotor, stator, and thermic regulator.
Damn. Nice work. Keep up like that and you might start growing on me again. We're gonna get my baby back on the road!
I got your merchandise to your client, but while I was there, she told me something troubling.
What's that?
Victor apparently stopped the caravan, tortured and killed its merchants, but he didn't kill them before they told him where Noctis is, and from what she heard, your city's about to be overrun by ASC.
That doesn't quite... All the caravans sent to Ophir have already returned. Strange. Knew we couldn't hide forever. We could try, but... I knew the ASC snakes would slither in at some point. Thank you for the heads up. I'll be sure to send a little something to my client in thanks, too.
Gotta say, you're taking it pretty well. Expected more yelling, or aren't you at least curious if the ASC snakes snuck in as the merchants they killed?
Of course, and the thought crossed my mind. But for now, it's just another fire I'm trying to cope with. I'll deal with it when the time comes. I need another favor, Mr. Mancer. Seems looters have taken to attacking our caravans in the canyon leading to Ophir lately. They would have likely come down to the city in order to fence their spoils. They haven't. This makes me doubt that the thieves are free agents. Perhaps they're working under someone else's interests. But I'd like to have more than a suspicion, and I'd like it to stop. Set up a counter-ambush, catch the looters red-handed, make them talk.
Got a more specific plan?
Been hatching one. You hide among the merchandise on board one of the caravans, belonging to a merchant I fully trust. When the attack hits...
Then I head back, get as rough as I need to until they tell us who's sending them, and who their mole in Noctis is.
Smart man.
I'll think about it. So I went out to see if there's any Vori in the city.
Can I put my mind at ease now?
They're out. Put your worries to rest. I really doubt Anton will send any more our way.
Fantastic. That is an enormous weight off my chest, Zachariah.
Everybody settled in?
We are, Zachariah, yes. There's something on your mind, isn't there?
That obvious? The Great Master asked me to look after everyone. Having the unconditional support of everyone would help me a lot. Don't know how to pull that together, though.
We're a family, Zachariah. You'll always have our support. You're looking to become a great master, though. That's different. There are some who obviously will question your abilities to hold that position. It's not personal. You did tremendous things for us, Zachariah. You did. But not everyone knows you well enough. You're young, inexperienced, and while your talent speaks for itself, I have a feeling some will want to put those talents to the test before supporting you. My suggestion would be this. Find the most influential masters. I'm sure they'll have questions. Satisfy their expectations, and I believe nothing can stand in your way.
Then I'll go see them. Hi. Melvin told me to find you.
Ah, so you're the one who's hoping to be our great master. You're so young. Not that it diminishes the possibility, but to be worthy of such a role, one must have extensive knowledge of the settlers and Earth. Without that, how could you possibly lead us?
I agree. So why not test my knowledge?
Fair enough. An easy question. What is the name of the celestial body closest to Earth? And what percentage of the beautiful blue Earth is covered in water? The name of the mythical first man to enter space. What was it? Legend has it that he was an ancestor of the first Reachers, if you believe such tales. Interesting. I believe 3 correct answers is good enough for me. I will ask one last question. The name of the first machine the Earthlings sent flying over our planet. You're indeed well-versed in astronomy, a rare quality in one so young. Perhaps there lies within you a strong link to Earth. Either way, it is an excellent sign of your potential to lead. You have my support.
Hey there.
Ah, the man who hopes to rise from lieutenant to the ranks of great master. I'll be honest. I'd back you simply from what you've already done for us. To me, you've already proven your courage and leadership.
But
a great master also needs to take care of the logistics, like the equipment, keeping them working, upgrading them, and alright, I'll cut to the chase. I actually just want a better staff. So, in short, if I give you my staff, you get it upgraded. After, you'll have my support. Deal?
let me see what I can do.
You do nice work. Much more balanced. I guess you can call this my better staff. Get it? My better staff? Good thing that getting my humor isn't a prerequisite for my support. I'd be happy to see you as Great Master.
Hey there,
Melvin already told me you want to become our Great Master. I have no problem with it, but you'll have to prove you know how to fight first. Show me what you've got. Hell of a fighter. Wasn't expecting that. How could I not give you my support after that? It'd be nice to have a Great Master who knows how to make some blood flow.
Hello, Zachariah. Word is that you aim to become our next Great Master. Please, take no offense, but it is my belief that you are far too inexperienced for such a monumental task. Enthusiasm you have, and strength. But look at the state of us. Our order is chaotic. Whoever leads us must have perfected our rites, that he might initiate our new technomancers properly in our ways.
Then test me. Let my knowledge speak for itself.
So let it be. We are, as technomancers, connected by a secret that we all learned the same way. Tell me, who were the protagonists of the message you saw? And what was the object the Great Master gave you during the ceremony? And what two oaths does the initiate recite to end the ceremony? I'm impressed. Perhaps I was wrong. You seem indeed ready to initiate our newcomers. You have my support. I'd be happy for you to become our Great Master.
My congratulations, Great Master Zachariah. The decisions of the other Technomancers were sent to me. Though I wish we could offer you a proper ceremony, we are but a shell of our former selves. Know that all of us, no matter how few, renew our vows before you to preserve the secret and continue to seek the Earth at any cost. I will, if it's your desire, ensure the communication between our brothers, and if you have any mission for us, please, do not hesitate to come see me.
Melvin, thank you. Just let me know if anyone gets wind of threats or any sort of information that'll allow us to move forward. Talk to you later. Captain, good to see you.
Always, Lieutenant. Zach. Thought you'd look a little worse for wear, but you look good. I should probably be pissed that you stole one of our rovers. I guess you didn't have much of a choice. What do you need? If you're here for help, start talking, because every second I'm around you is a bona fide hazard, and I don't want to have to steal a rover myself.
How are things? Heard there have been a few changes.
Thanks to your escape, yeah. Now most Technomancer officers are treated like traitors, and the Army's barely got a voice now that it's under control of the ASC. Can't tell friend from enemy anymore. Everyone's watching their own back, suspicious of everyone else. Paranoia's caught like a virus. I don't know what's going on, but I am worried what it means for our corporation. We're sinking into an era of terror, beginning to act like the very Aurora fascists who we hate, who had their own men assassinated.
I found refuge in a city that doesn't belong to Abundance, if you can believe it. But it seems that Victor managed to infiltrate it. I know I'm asking a lot from you, but if you have any information on this...
We're talking about an act of aggression toward a foreign power, and what I'm telling you is akin to treason, Zachariah. It's almost sure that Victor is preparing an attack upon our refuge city, but not with our own troops. From what I was told, he has hired mercenaries and even embedded some of his men. The craziest part of the story is that he's preparing a war without an army with the sole goal of capturing you. At this stage, that verges on psychosis. He's obsessed with you. Watch out. He's becoming more and more vicious, and he won't stop at anything to capture you and your Technomancer colleagues.
Thank you, Captain.
Hey, officer. Should I be worried about your visit?
If I was still an officer, maybe. I'm as much on the run as you are now.
Maybe I should start calling you something else then. What's your name?
Zachariah.
A pleasure, Zachariah. How can I help you?
I'm afraid that the ASC managed to infiltrate the city where I'm currently living. Thought that maybe you could help me. You seem to be up to date on what they do.
Victor, our nemesis. Very well. I'll tell you what I know. Victor got his hands on a commercial caravan, tortured its members in order to find out the location of their notorious secret city, the mysterious Noctis. He managed to send some of his men there. So take this with a grain of salt. But now I'm convinced Victor's got both mercenaries and religious dignitaries on ASC payroll there. Watch out, Zachariah.
Thank you, Bulgakov.
Ah, yes. Yes. The merchants who aren't, you mean? Yes, I knew the caravan's chief. And, yeah, the one who came back kinda looks like him, but sure as hell doesn't act like him. This might sound crazy, but seems to me all those merchants were replaced with... I don't know, but they're not from here. And instead of selling their goods, they're busy asking around about the guards and stock and that sort of thing.
Can you point them out to me?
I could, but I won't. I don't want any involvement. I don't want to be replaced. I'll just tell ya, they've been regular clients since they came back.
Fair enough. I'll just keep an eye on your clients for a while. Thank you. I'm gonna need everyone's help. ASC's infiltrated Noctis, and as you already know, that's not a good thing.
We just got away from them. Why can't they just leave us alone? What? What do you want us to do about it? Most of us are terrified of them. They're immune to our powers.
I understand your frustration and your fear. I wasn't there, and don't even want to imagine what they put you through. But we don't back down from fear. We're military. We fight. And I will be damned if we will back down from a few fucking ASC spies with lightning rods.
I hope you can see our secrets at risk. But I agree, the best defense is a strong first attack. If we hide and wait for them, we put our secret even more at risk. So what do you propose we do?
From what I can tell, the spies have weaseled their way into 3 groups, but we can't move until we know which members are from the ASC. Moles disguise themselves as mercenaries, religious zealots, and even merchants.
Then I'll dispatch some eyes to keep tabs on those groups.
Thank you.
Take a look. Good as new. Like she's right off the factory floor.
Okay, great. So we can get anywhere we need to go?
To the horizon and back if you need to.